The extraordinary story of a man calling himself the Aussie Cossack, a fugitive from our police who's been hiding for nearly 2 years in the Russian consulate in Sydney, where he's been rewarded by Russian President Vladimir Putin and hired to pump out vile propaganda from that consulate that's meant to divide us, including fake news and race-baiting views on these stabbings. And our government does nothing about this shocking interference backed by Russia in our domestic politics. Now, there's a reason I want to talk about this vile man right now. It's because there's a warning that our governments are reacting to the stabbings in a lazy way, even a dangerous way, like taking away your free speech. Now, I totally get the need to come together after the mass murder in the Bondi Junction shopping centre. Let's not talk about people like Aussie Cossack, particularly after the stabbing of the Christian bishop in his Western Sydney church. And is the answer to police us all, censor us all, or in fact to go after the real hate preachers, the real dividers, like the Sydney hate preachers spreading hatred of Jews? Nothing has been done to these guys we've shown you here so often. Nothing. Or go after people like the Aussie Cossack. So, we're back to this guy. His real name is Simeon Boikov. He was actually born here, but identifies as Russian, as is the way, a Cossack even, and acts like a total ratbag. He's been in trouble with the police, he's attacked COVID lockdown laws. Now, Boikov is a Russian ultra-nationalist. 2 years ago, he allegedly pushed down and injured a man at a rally to support Ukraine. And he fled to the Russian consulate in Sydney, where he's lived ever since, hiding from our police. Now, this is shocking enough. Boikov didn't have Russian citizenship. He was allegedly, being investigated for breaking Australian law, hurting someone. So why were the Russians protecting him? Now, the answer, it seems, is that it's useful to Vladimir Putin, the war criminal who's Russia's president. Putin gave Boikov Russian citizenship for services to the nation. And he got a job too with the Russian government's Sputnik. That's a propaganda arm so nasty it's been banned in several countries. But Boikov is now producing social media posts and videos from the consulate.
You are watching the Aussie Cossack show live across multiple platforms.
Now, as the Aussie Cossack, Boikov has not just promoted Putin and Russia's invasion of Ukraine and live-streamed pro-Vladimir Putin rallies, all from the consulate. He's also pumped out disinformation and incitement, certain to inflame radicals and the disaffected right here. He has promoted some of Australia's most viciously anti-Israel activists. He's falsely claimed the Bondi Junction killer was a Jew called Benjamin Cohen, a false and inflammatory claim that Channel 7 repeated. They repeated his name. And is now stirring up Muslim feelings of persecution after the stabbings, asking why wasn't the Bondi Junction killer also called a terrorist?
Why is the word terrorist only applied to certain people? Why isn't this guy a terrorist if he committed a terrorist act? Is it because he's not Muslim?
Stirring that pot. Anti-Jewish sentiment, Muslim grievance. It's stunning that our government hasn't dragged in the Russian ambassador to demand this Simeon Boikov be stopped from interfering in our domestic politics and inflaming tensions here with a clear backing and logistical support of the Russian government. It is sinister that our government would rather shut down your free speech than shut down a real source of the poison. And not just the hate preachers in Sydney, but this wanted man who's hiding and operating for Vladimir Putin from the Russian consulate in Sydney.